All right, the watch list for tomorrow. Pretty ugly day. I'm showing you the SPY here. You can see this big channel that the SPY's been in, and let me zoom in a little bit, and you can see kind of a smaller channel inside the bigger channel, if you will. And so maybe around 195. Man, we erased this bounce yesterday pretty quickly today. It's pretty ugly, but I'd be looking for, looks like if we sell off tomorrow, it'll be somewhere around 195 that it'll hit this sort of smaller channel inside the bigger channel. So certainly not a pretty day, and certainly time to start looking for shorts. But my watch list for tomorrow, JRJC is one of the stronger stocks out there. I want to watch that again tomorrow. I called that today over this nice little tight flag. I think I called it like 843 with an 834 stop, so 9 cents risk, and look at that. We got a nice move all the way to 930 something. So it's kind of extended here. There it is on 60s and the daily, but I still want to watch it. If we get a kind of a boring day and then an upside break on that, we might get another trade in it. ZU, big trade in that yesterday, and this thing, you can see the $40 area. This had one of the strongest stocks out there today. In that week tape, look, ZU closed almost, and I highlighted that in yesterday's video as well, how much I like that chart. So that one breaks through 40, might have another push. Very nice looking chart there. Loco, you know what, this one's just holding up. It's not doing anything, but it's just in a range. So I just want to keep an eye on it. Loco is one of those stocks that if you trade in a narrow range and then break out in the afternoon, you can get some really nice moves. And actually, you could argue that it held up okay as weak as the market was today. So I just like to have Loco on a chart. I want to put True on watch, TRUE. Not sure what that line's doing there. True had a big volume day today, and it's holding up pretty well. And it's really kind of holding the 50-day there. So on an intraday basis, I called this as a potential short at 1850 today, and I'll show you why. Because it was getting shape, what we call upside shape, into a recent high. So whenever you run up straight like this without any pullbacks into a recent high, that's usually a great place to put a short on. And I suggested 1850 as a potential short, and look at this. It fell $1 plus. And the embarrassing thing about me telling you that is I didn't take any. I'd already had a decent morning, and I get kind of weird when the day's winding down. I don't like to give anything back, but should have put some money to work on that. That was a pretty nice setup. Shape into a recent high. That absolutely made sense. But anyway, we did have some people in chat take that short and do very well on it. OTIV. Oh, I forgot to mention. So because of that action in TRUE today, I just want to have it on watch again tomorrow. That with the size of the move it made, it's certainly still interesting. OTIV, I had on bounce watch today. Didn't do anything with it, but it did put in a green candle. So you could argue had relative strength again. Had a nice pop at the open, and then kind of a little flag below the high of the day. So I think maybe this one's bottomed. I'm going to watch OTIV for a potential long tomorrow, especially if the market has any kind of strength. I want to have TKMR on watch again today. It's definitely overdue for a bounce, although it had a pretty good intraday bounce today. Right from here, went up well over $1 from there. But still, that is a good candidate for an upside mover. The Ebola story and 3 days down in a row, kind of closing at the 8-day. Also, what was prior resistance? Draw a little line there. So this was resistance right here. Here, and here, and now it's come back to kind of retest the breakout area and the 8-day. So, and you've got right in this area a little bit of a bottoming tail. So I want to watch that one for potential continuation on that intraday bounce tomorrow. That's TKMR. NETE, yeah, I don't know what to do about this thing, but I still think it's worth having on bounce watch. Crazy action here. And again, I've said this in the last few videos. I've had this on watch every day, but it hasn't given me any kind of setup, so I just keep watching it and doing nothing with it. But it'll go back on watch again tomorrow. Crazy action here, and now how many red candles is that? So I think this one maybe one of these days could bounce. It finally found like kind of a base today. So anyway, there's a good chance I won't play NET tomorrow, but it's worth having on a chart. TRP had a really big move the other day and a nice continuation, and now is right back down to support. And right here, this used to be resistance. You can see it. And so now it's back down to support. And also, this green line is actually the 60, but on another chart, it's right at the 50-day. And so with that in mind, and if I switch to 15-minute candles, Look at the size of this move it made from 53.50 all the way up to almost 58.50. And so now it's come down into, you know, like I said, recent lows right here. And it's kind of found some support. Nice base today, you know, while the market was selling off. It sold off originally, but nice base, and it's at the 50-day. So that is that's a good candidate for a bounce too in that 52 area tomorrow. And all this depends on how the market acts too. CHK, I've got a line drawn there. CHK has done pretty well at the 23 area, and it's come down, what, about 5 days, 6 days to get there. Volume's kind of accelerating, so that's a good place to look for a bounce. You know, it's not breaking down out of consolidation. It's free falling here, so I want to watch the 23 area on that for a potential bounce. As always, DGLY is starting to break down. It did get to that 15 area that I talked about that might be support because you had this gap up here. It was resistance. I also have a line drawn here at which is all the way down at 1125, but it could happen. And that's where it really started this second wave off of. So one of these days we're going to get a really nice bounce in DGLY. And the beauty of it is, again, just like some of those others, just have it on a chart. I'm not just going to, you know, at the open like this morning. I had it on watch this morning, and look at what it did at the open. Okay, it gapped down and then all of a sudden takes out the high of the day, but it had a whole bunch of stuff from yesterday and a whole bunch of resistance right above. I wasn't even interested in taking that high of day break. All right, but now that we're getting down near 15, there's not a lot of resistance above. You know, another sell-off, another day or two, and this one's going to, I think, is going to give a really nice long trade. So, again, like some of those others, just keep this on watch. Make sure you get a good setup. Don't just guess and hopefully jump in and say, hey, maybe today's the day. Make it give an intelligent intraday setup. All right, they're not hard to spot, and I think DGLY pays us big one of these days. Tons of shorts in it. And it's a very low float stock, so it's coming down closer to interesting areas anyway. WB is kind of interesting. It's got some pretty nice support at 19. You know, the recent action I can't love, but I drew that line a little bit too high. But anyway, you can see it right around 19. You know, this nasty reversal is pretty bad. This move, you know, from the 19 area to 26 and all the way back down, but at the same time, it did have pretty good support in that 19 area. So I think that's worth having on a chart. And that's enough. I'll leave it at that. Hopefully we'll find other things in addition to this in the chat room as well to trade. And I'm going to quit babbling, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.